Good morning, everyone. Happy to meet you all again for the AECT Induction Program Phase 2. On behalf of Dharmanayadu Educational and Charitable Trust, Board of Trustees, our most respected Secretary Sir, Sri D. Dasarathan Sir, respected Sir, Correspondent Sri S. Amarnath Sir, Director Sir, Sri D. Sabrinath Sir, Principal Sir, Dr. S. Ramachandran Sir, Vice Principal Sir, Dr. Ahmad Mudasar Ali Sir, Head of all departments, Head of Humanities and Science, Dr. R. Harihara Sudan Sir, faculty members and students, I extend a warm welcome to one and all present here. Knowledge is the only word that lasts long. Wherever we go, it accompanies us. It keeps us fit into any circumstance of survival. Engineering requires applied science and chemistry is the center of all science. The more chemistry an engineer understands, the more beneficial it is. In the future, global problems and issues will require an in-depth understanding of chemistry to have a global solution. Now, I welcome our chief guest, Dr. Z. Abdul Wahid Sir, Assistant Professor, Postgraduate and Research Department of Chemistry, C. Abdul Hakim College. He has completed his UG in Jamal Muhammad College. Then he has completed his PG in Jamal Muhammad College. He has completed his MPhil in C. Abdul Hakim College. He has completed his PhD in Islamia College. Then he worked as associate professor and a head in C. Abdul Hakim College of Engineering and Technology from 2020 to 2020. 2000 to 2020. Sir, I welcome you, sir. Sir, sir,
Yes, I am here.
I welcome you, sir. You can start, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your nice introduction, and I thank the management of SN Engineering College. There's a principal and head of the department and students. It's a good chance for me to be explore and can share my knowledge about the applications of chemistry in engineering. My voice is audible, no? My voice is audible to everyone?
Is the you are audible, sir?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, let me start. My topic is today application of chemistry in engineering. Myself, Dr. Z. Abdul Wahid, working as assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry. So before we start, we have to see certain lines. The eminent personality, APJ Dr. Abdul Kalam. So every day, that is every morning, that you have to speak 5 lines to yourself, so you can motivate, you can get a lot of confidence on you. What is that one? I am the best, I can do it, God is always with me, I am a winner, today is my day. So these are the lines. It is said by APJ Dr. Abdul Kalam. So here, the question among the engineers: what is the necessary to study science? What is the necessary to study science? That even if I in front of the students has to give answer. There's a lot of answers, reply I can get, depend upon the person, it may vary. So here, it helps to understand the working of the world better, and the science involve quite an amount of theory, practical field work, and the science make people healthy, being learned, make him useful to the society, and it provide you with a way of thinking, and having understood the nature and the natural resources, known best how to make use of the natural and human resources. Okay, this is that the necessary to study the science. Here, not that we are going to be discuss about the chemistry, how that is held, and what is applications of chemistry in engineering. Because chemistry is the branch of natural science that study the matter, energy, properties, and their relationship. Engineering is to apply this science practically. Most of the students think that there is no use of chemistry in engineering. It is a general question or general thought of the student, but actually there are a lot of applications of chemistry in engineering. The chemicals are part of life in a modern world. They are used to clean, they are used to disinfect, they are used to run machines, they are used to treat diseases, they are used to fertilize. So, because the chemistry in daily life, day to day life that we are experiencing, because everything we need in our daily life is mostly related to chemistry. You know, everyone, like a food, cloth, cosmetics, drinks, soap, washing powder, baking powder, acids, medicines, etc. etc. So, life is incomplete without chemistry. So, now let me start about how it is useful in the engineering field. Even the chemistry will help in future also. As in the introductory part, she said rightly. In future, chemistry may help us find new ways to maintain the environment clean and preserve the food, solve many incurable diseases, even like a corona. And it also have the solution to overcome for the pollution. It can increase food and crop yield and provide more effective pharmaceutical pesticides to destroy harmful insects from the crops. My dear student, as an engineer or as an engineering student, we must know the importance of chemistry in all aspects. For example, so we see that one by one. If you take the importance of chemistry or the application of chemistry in electrical engineering, if you are an electrical engineer, how that, what is the role of chemistry in electrical engineer? Because it is vastly applied in electrical engineer. All discussed about the transistor, resistor, capacitor, inductor, and also about the semiconductor. Here you know that the current passing through these items is due to the momentum of electrons. Momentum of electrons. Electron and its properties are is nothing but it is a chemistry subfield. Electrical engineers must have this knowledge to make an electric circuit. Okay, and you know that it is a chemical liquid used in batteries to produce current, because we have number of batteries are using nowadays. Nickel cadmium battery is there, lead acid storage battery is there. You know the lithium battery nowadays. For all the smartphone, it is carrying the lithium battery. It is lightweight battery. It is used. When the electrical engineers study the formation of batteries, they must know the reactions of the element present in the chemical of battery. And you know that semiconductor, like a silicon, germanium, indium, it is also used in many reactions. So, to perform reaction safely, electrical engineer must know about their chemical properties. And polymers, which is commonly used, and also you have your one unit, it is about the electrochemistry. It is nothing but the electrical energy is converted into chemical energy, the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. When the chemical reaction starts, then the electricity is produced. When the two metals are dipped in its own salt of the solution, for example, you can take a zinc and copper. Zinc, it is dipped in zinc sulfate. Copper, it is dipped in copper sulfate. When these two electrodes are given connection to the battery, immediately that what zinc undergo oxidation and a living electron move from anode to cathode, so there is a deflection in the ammeter or in the battery, that it shows what after the chemical reaction the electricity is produced. Or when the electricity is passed the chemical reactions start to produce. The best example is electro deposition process. Deposition of that is what when the electricity is passed to the solution, copper deposition, for example, if you take in the when the pot want to be deposit, or gold you want to be deposit, or silver you want to be deposit, any pot you take, and the silver chloride or copper sulfate solution if you take, and if you pass the electricity, now the ions will be dissociate. Copper sulfate, copper and sulfate will be get associate. Silver chloride, silver and chloride will be get associate, and silver move on to the cathodic part will be get deposited, and the chlorine again it come to the anodic part, get dissolved the anodic part of this one, and it again it is converted into silver chloride. So like that, the chemical reactions are taking place. As an electrical engineer, that you must know about it. And polymers commonly used in that what electronics, polymers in electronics and communications, circuit board, coil and wire, transistor, insulated materials, everything it is what, it is nothing but it is made up of chemistry material, that is like a polymer. Because the polymer commonly we used in electrical appliance, silicons, ethylene propylene rubber EPR, ethylene propylene diene monomers, acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. It is used in telephone handset, keyboard, monitor, computers, and ureoformaldehyde. Excellent example for it is a thermosetting plastic used in electric fittings. And epoxy resin, the electrical component. You know that the switch is nothing but it is made up of backlight, thermosetting polymers. Because that everything it is what it is made up of chemistry. That in electronics, that unique micro devices technology that use plastic diodes, transistor, sensor, light emitting device, and photovoltaics. So in electrical as well as the electronic and communication engineering, all the parts of that it is made up of polymers, and also that what the chemistry which is involved, you must know the basic concept of engineering when you are studying the electrical engineer. And if we can take automobile engineering, the polymer it is used in automobiles. You can take a car parts, trim panel, impact absorber, radio housing, door outer panel, handle, light cover, everything it is made up of polymers, polypropylene, thermoplastic olefin, that is ABS, acrylonitrile butadiene, polycarbonate, and polypropylene. It is made up of polymers that it is blended with the polymers that we get all type of automobile parts. We have many applications: load bearing, bumper beams, glass fiber reinforced polymer resin, using of pressing of resin compounds, and molding covers, front apron, spoiler, wheel well inner, hood, fender, trunk, everything it is made up of the polymeric materials. Protective molding, polyvinyl chloride, ethylene, propylene. Okay, so here that almost all the parts of the automobile parts it is using that what polymers are used. Then if you come to that civil engineers, how, what is the application of chemistry in civil? My dear students, in civil engineering, you know that basic concept, that is the cement is the basic element of any construction. The one who is using cement should know about the formation of the cement, how the setting and hardening is taking place, what is the chemical reaction it takes place. If there is a time misplaced, that what the setting or hardening, the total process will be get collapse. That you must know that cement is formed through the chemical process. It is a combine of chemicals, elements, calcium, silicon, clay, chalk, aluminium, iron, silica, and many other ingredients. So the civil engineers, they must know about this. And due to chemical reactions with the environmental element, the moisture and carbon present in the steel, what effect it is going to be, the civil engineer must know. Here the one point I want to note about the corrosion. As a civil engineer, he must know the mechanism of the corrosion. Already we studied, we know about it. Just we want to refresh our knowledge. What is that? The corrosion mean what? What is the mechanism of the corrosion? When, because the engineers, we have to be work with the metal. When the metal it is when come into contact with the atmosphere, when it is come into contact with the atmosphere, the metal is get oxidized into metal ion directly. When the metal it is come into contact with the atmosphere, it what metal is get oxidized, it is converted into metal ion, and it is releasing electron. It is oxidation process. The oxygen which is present in the atmosphere naturally, that oxygen, it absorb that electron, and the oxygen is converted into oxygen ion. This metal ion and oxygen ion combined, it form a metal oxide. The metal oxide is nothing but it is a rust formed on any metal surface. The engineers must select a metal which it is what prevent from the corrosion. Prevent from the corrosion. He must know about the electrochemical series. Electrochemical series based on the hydrogen scale, where the metals are placed in above the hydrogen scale or below the hydrogen scale. We have to select metal which will be prevent from the corrosion. The anodic and cathodic part, it must have a distance. We can prevent the corrosion from that. So the civil engineer must know about the basic concept. And also the civil engineer also spray a kind of chemical like a boric acid on wall to control termite. And also calcium carbonate, it is also is a chemical that is used to find out the moisture content of the sand, because every process has some link with the chemistry. And here now the technology has improved. Technology has improved now in the civil. You can see the bridge shows in the slides. Here the polymers, now it is come up with the polymer concrete. Previously it is a cement concrete. Now the polymer concretes are introduced slowly. It is a relatively novel high quality material compared with the cement concrete. We have a lot of advantages. Do you know that? It's a good mechanical strength, short curing period, because in the cement it will take around 22 days or 30 days for curing. It becomes so hard, but it is very short curing period that when you use that polymer concrete. And high adhesion process, wear resistance, weather resistance, waterproof, and insulation performance. Do you know that polyester polymer concretes are used? Epoxy resin based polymer concretes are used. Epoxy urethane acryl concretes are used. Recently, there is a news in IIT campus. The engineers, IIT peoples build a very temporary house. Completely, it is what? It is polymeric materials, composites. With within 1 month, I think so, they have constructed a house, temporary house, because now the technology has improved. And how the chemistry, what is the role of the chemistry in civil engineer, that you must know. You can see here that the coolant, lubricant, fuel oil, the chemistry provides the coolant and etc. This is also, you know, that it is a part of chemistry. And you know that chemistry in industrial engineering, because it is very important. The chemistry also the most important factor in industrial engineering. We do not know many things. almost used in every industries. You can take a sugar industry, fertilizer industry, textile industry, printing industry, medicine industry, many other things. The industries that, if you, for example, I'll give you one example for sugar industry. If you take how we are getting the sugar, do you know that what is the process? How we getting the sugar? Just a sugar can, it is introduced into that what machine, it crush it separate the juice and bagasse. The juice, it is converted into what, it is a molasses. The molasses is completely, it is a brownish color, but we are getting, when the molasses is put into the this one crystallization process in the boiler, we get a very white color crystal of sugar. How it's possible? The molasses is a brownish color, but we get a white pure crystal of sugar. It is nothing but using of what, sulfur compounds. Using of sulfur compound, it completely, it is entirely, it is changes the color of brown and is converted into pure crystal, white crystal of sugars. But one side, it is having lot of disadvantages. The doctor is advising not to use that white sugar, but anyhow, that what the process, it is taking place in the sugar industries. So that, like that, we have many more applications, it is there in the industry. Even you can take a chemical engineering. The chemical engineering is a branch of engineering which deals with the study of engineering and materials, the process of raw material to make them useful. The chemical engineering, it is made of chemist. It start with chemistry and end with chemistry. All the component, the elements we use. A person knowing chemistry is known as chemist. Do you know that? Here, this very important thing, it is what the chemistry, it is very important part of agriculture. It is taking a major role. About 50% of the crop yield are just because of the use of the fertilizers, the chemical products. Chemical products. You know that the agro technology is coming up. Agro technology, that is agricultural technology, is coming up now. Okay, the proper and productive growth of the crop and fertilizers, pesticide and insecticides are also used to beware of the crop from the attack of harmful insects. Now the technology has improved. You see, if you want to get a if you want to have a mango, before, in previously, it take 5 years or 10 years to get one mango. You have to plant your tree 10 years before. After 10 years only you can get a mango that is a very tasteful mango. But now what happened, within 1 year you are doing the cultivation. And although you know that mango trees, it is how big it is. It's a very big tree. We can have thousands of mangoes in a tree. Now it is a very short. Why? Because of the hybrid. Because of that, the science developed like that. Agro technology, it is what everything. It's a very short span of time. The yield is more. The yield is more. That much of chemical fertilizers are used to grow that plant and to yield the maximum number of products. So that technology is improved in industrial engineering. We can have a cosmetic, pharmaceutical, industrial chemicals, mining, leather, textile, explosive, gases, petrochemical, plastic, rubber, paint and coating, etc., etc. That what industries are there. That many applications are there in that one. We were even, you can take a textile engineering, that is a design, production, manufacturing of textile or fabrics. Textile industry, fabrics are manufactured by converting raw fabric material into the useful textiles. There are 3 main processes of manufacturing fabrics are there: spinning, weaving, and bleaching. All the process it is taking place only because of that chemistry which involved. Spinning process, raw fabric material, it is converted into thread. You know the what is the sources of raw material can be? It is a naturally obtaining cotton, silk, wool, synthetic, polymer, nylon. These are the threads it is formed. It is properly shaped. And then after the fabrication process is over, the bleaching, the woven fabric get rusted by the dust, oil, and many chemicals due to passing through the machineries. So the cleaning of cloth, removing of oil, and also wax spots, it is done by using different chemicals. This process it is known as bleaching. You know that after this, the dyeing, printing, and special kind of chemical finishings are done. All those process it is need different kind of chemicals. So the textile industry has a great relationship with the chemical industries. Using chemical needs a knowledge of chemistry is very important. And you can take a nuclear and biomedical engineerings. The chemistry has a key role in nuclear engineering. Nuclear engineering is nothing but what? Study of nuclear reactions to produce different methods. Different periodic radioactive elements are used in these reactions. Atom is the most important term in the engineering. Nuclear energy, the nuclear engineers play with the atom in many ways to perform reactions. There are many reactive elements present around us. These elements emit radiation which can be harmful to the human. That radioactive elements are very reactive, so one should have enough knowledge to deal with the element. It is very important to be noted down. And nuclear engineers should study the properties of the many radioactive elements. You know that radium, radon, platinum, uranium, and many other. And biomedical engineers, the chemistry has many application in the field of medicine. Radiation is used to cure cancer, but these radiation emit from radioactive element and it is used to destroy harmful cancer cells. And radioactive elements are also used in the treatment of tumors. This kind of treatment we can known as radiotherapy, because all in everywhere that what the chemistry is playing a vital role. You can take mining industries, mining, the geology. It is a branch of engineering that which deals with studying earth and structure. Detail of things it contain metal, non-metal, and alloy. And this process, geologists study the history of the land at which he is going to start the work. He also studies past events, volcano eruption, earthquake, flood, what's happening on this land, and design it structure by supporting this event in the future. Because nowadays we have lot of natural disasters. Geological students study the different types of rock and how different metals are extracted from these rocks. And mining, it is a process getting a minerals by digging the land. You know, the chemistry provide a broad detail about the metal and ore and the mineral obtained by mining process. There are two ores, that is primary and secondary. The primary ore which consists sulfide and arsenide, and these ores are present between the land surface and groundwater level. They get oxidized by the oxygen, moisture, corrosion, and then it is deposited as a sulfate and carbonate. These deposits are known as secondary ores. When these ores are extracted from the ground and contact the atmosphere, different ore give different reactions. The ore, it is a pure white color, but when it is come in contact with the atmosphere, it will be differ. When the sulfide ore are exposure to the moisture and air, they produce that what which can be cause difficulties for the workers. This is that mining process, mining engineers. And we have the metallurgy is a separate topic, separate metallurgical engineering. The peoples are studying is most important branch of mining engineering. The metallurgical engineerings are here to separate the metal from the extracted ore. They extract these metals and metallic alloy and remove their impurities to get a metal in a pure form. It provide deals, that is what it have the knowledge about the properties of this metal, the reactivity and the strength, and the solve problem related to metals like a corrosion. And metal and metallic alloys are used in different manufacturing and construction purpose. So metallurgical engineering help us to choose metal according to our requirement. So chemistry is used in geology, mining, and metallurgical engineering. That what is that chemistry, that application of chemistry in mechanical engineering? It is hard to believe that chemistry has hand in almost every type of engineering, but it is true. Chemistry is not a mechanical engineering subject, but it guides in many topics. You know that mechanical engineering studying different subject, but it is not a mechanical engineering subject, chemistry, but it guides in many topics. You know that about the thermodynamics and thermochemistry, mechanics, kinematics, fabrication of electronic device, heat transfer in the combustion engine and IC engine. Is a mechanical engineer must know about it, particularly that when the after completing of your mechanical engineering, that they have to be work in industries. Suppose if you are going to work with the boiler, we must know about that what the basic concept in the boiler. You know that what is that the water, it is a very essential solvent, it is used. And the construction of boiler, how that we have to construct a boiler. And here the thing, it is very important about the corrosion. Here also it is applied chemistry. And the water which used in the boiler to produce a steam, that we call it as a boiler feed water. The boiler feed water, the water, it must be purest form. The pure water has to use in the boiler. Suppose if the water is containing hardness, it is nothing but what the water containing a calcium and magnesium ions, the carbonate, bicarbonate, sulfate and chlorides of calcium and magnesium ions, if it is present, the water become a hardness. That water, if you using directly in the boiler, that what are the problems you get, what are the troubles you get? Because using of hard water, it form a scale and sludge formation, it takes place. How to overcome that problem? What treatment that we have to do for the boiler feed water? One, it is internal conditioning, that if once if it is used, suppose it's happen that scale formation and sludge formation, how to overcome that? What are the methods to be applied to remove that scale formation and sludge formation is one. It is an internal treatment. Once the water is fed into the boiler and it forms this type of scale and sludge, mean that we have to do such a exercise. And external treatment we have. So before fed the water into that one, we can purify it. We have number of methods. The substances which produce for hardness, calcium and magnesium ions, carbonate, bicarbonate, chloride, sulfates can be removed before fed into the water, fed into the boiler. That is external treatment. We can go for a zeolite process, and we can demineralization process. We have many other method. The chemistry, it is what it is used here, and mechanical engineer use the aluminum, okay, instead of iron, to design the structure of an aircraft in spite of the its lightweight. The people prefer that what aluminum, because it is a lightweight. But if you compare with the iron is having that weight, but the other properties are similar with the aluminum. The only the difference we have, the mechanical strengths are same, and other properties are same, and physical and chemical properties. The only the difference is what aluminum, it is a lightweight, so it is used in the aircraft. Nowadays, a little bit it is come to the advanced level that titanium is used instead of aluminum also. So this is the mechanical engineer must know about it. And mostly, you know that inorganic chemistry, it is used in the mechanical engineering because it containing the knowledge of metal and non-metal and their properties. When a mechanical engineer use the metal object to design, build, analyze, and also manufacture the bearing, gear, wheels, semiconductor tools, motor engine, and generator engines, he should know about all the properties of the metals. And aluminum and iron both are metal, but the mechanical engineer use aluminum instead of iron to design the structure of an aircraft due to what? It's lightweight, because iron is a heavy metal, therefore not used in the designing process. So the mechanical engineers, they must know about all these things. And also about, I told you that in the beginning, the mechanical engineers have that what they'll be studying about the thermodynamics. Thermodynamics, the subject, it is purely the basic knowledge of chemistry is required, because what is the system, what is the surrounding, what is the open system, what is the closed system, what is the isolated system, how the energies are transferred from the closed system to the that is a surrounding. Okay, we have to be we are talking about that delta H, enthalpy change, entropy change, delta S, delta H, it is a heat content of the system. It deals about the thermodynamic, the first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics. Energy neither created nor destroyed. One form of the energy can be converted into another form of the energy. How it is applied in the field of thermodynamics. So these things that what it has to be studied, the mechanical engineer must know. Thermochemistry, we must know about the balancing the equations, stoichiometric, balancing the equations. We have the reactant and product, how much of the reactant is converted into product, whether energy is released, the heat is released, or energy is absorbed, or heat is absorbed, endothermic reaction, exothermic reaction, how much of energy is released, how much energy it is come out along with the product. So these calculations are, it is done in the thermochemistry. The mechanical engineer must know about the basic concept. Okay, so my dear student, the chemistry, the applications are there in mechanical engineering. And then you can see that chemistry in computer science and IT. Don't think that one computer science student, we are software engineers, that why should we know about that chemistry, because it is there. All the component which you are using, laptop or computer, the component, desk, CPU, chip, and everything, the CPU, whatever it is there, and the mouse, everything, it is made up of polymers. Made up of polymers. It is completely, it is what? Chemistry. It is completely, it is what? Chemistry. So we should not ignore it. Here that. So now we have seen that what are the applications of chemistry in that what every field. Now we are coming to the chemistry, a solution to the problem. Chemistry is a solution to the problem. The chemistry not only used for the development of engineering, but it is also provide a solution to the various engineering problem. We'll see that one, what it is. You see the engineering applications that we have discussed about the fuels in the petroleum engineering. You know that it is a petroleum engineering that we studied. okay, that we use to that petrol products, refining of petroleum. We get solid fuel, liquid fuel, gaseous fuel, water gas, producer gas, LPG gas, power alcohol, etc., etc. But everything, it is what the engineering problem is, the production of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, which leads to global warming, the environmental pollution, because now the industry has come up, that is lot of industries are there and vehicles, two wheelers are there, but it produced lot of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. And the solution for the chemistry is what? Now we have to go for biofuels, which environmental friendly fuels, environmental friendly the research are going on. As an engineer, you must come forward to avoid, to restrict this carbon dioxide. What we have to do, we have to go for power alcohol, many other fuels are that, biofuels are coming up now. As an engineer, we must know about that. Then what is the outcome? That we go for greenies, we go for green, if you use this one. And you see here, without these things, that it is not possible. What is the solution for this? You know that what is there in the picture in the slide? We are using that air condition without that is in the sophisticated life, the climatic change, the peoples in the mall and house and everywhere, the refrigerator and the AC and that is the cooler it is used. So which is coming out of these instrument equipment, it is chlorofluorocarbon is a major, it is a main sources for ozone layer depletion. Now there is a two problems existing in the world. One is global warming because of the carbon dioxide greenhouse gas. The second one, it is what? The chlorofluorocarbon, which is present in the troposphere, in the ozone depletion. Because this ozone is a protective layer like an umbrella. When we go out, when the rain is coming, that we take that what? Umbrella protect from the water, rain. At the same time, it also protect from the sun. Directly it is fall on to our skin. When the radiation is come out, that UV radiations, that the harmful radiation will be stopped by this ozone layer, stopped by the ozone layer. But now it's what happened due to, because of the presence of this chemical, that is a compound chlorofluorocarbon, it destroying, it reduce the thickness of the ozone layer. It is not a making whole, it is not a making whole, the thickness of the layer is coming, it is decreasing. Suppose if you are entering into the any reception, any festival, that means you are going to any the marriage or things. Nowadays there is in the reception, you know that the balloons, or that balloon designs, it is there in the reception. You can, each balloons are there. Okay, it is like what decorative things. If you just you pin it to each balloons, that what automatically it will what, it reduce that what numbers. So like that, the ozone is getting deflecting. So now what happened? If the thickness of the layer is reduced, then the harmful radiation will reach that what? Earth. Harmful radiation will reach the earth. Then it affects many things, human being, animal, and etc. etc. And what is the solution for this? That you have to be think over it. So this is that. Now I am coming for this what? The what challenges for the engineers. Just will rush up with that few points, that the National Academy of Engineers, that is 14 grand challenges it is there for the engineers. So what is that? The solution for this? The scientists explore, experiment, and discover, but engineers create, design, and build. So what is the solution that we'll see? Number one, what are the challenges before you as an engineer? Now you are entering into the first year. You may be a mechanical engineer, you may be a civil engineer, you may be a electrical engineer, you may be electronics engineer, you may be a computer science and IT engineer, or whatever may be that you are. But you have certain challenges in front of you. It is given the National Academy of Engineers, that how to overcome these problems, make solar energy economic, because depending upon the development location, it is what it is competing that energy price. The photovoltaic solar panel, it is, or among the most cost effective power solutions being added to grid that today, because after without subsidy and incidents incentives they are giving, the government is what it is in a lot of status they started for the solar energy economical. Now the two wheelers are coming with what solar system, and the four wheelers are coming with the solar system. The each house it is constructed with the solar system. The industries they have come up with that lot of thing that is with the solar system. It is very important, the engineers has to be think over it, because average grid connected solar power system it will be about 10 to 24 solar panel. It gives that about 4 to 9.6 kilowatt. We get approximately $12,000 to $25,000 falls instantly. So to reduce the cost of the solar, we have to be improve the what efficiency of the solar panels. That you have to think over it. How to improve the efficiency of the solar panel? Electrical engineer, mechanical engineer is having more responsibility towards the development of the solar, that is making solar energy economical. And then if you come to provide the energy from fusions, this is also another one of the challenge of engineers, because it proposed the form of power generated that would generate the electricity by using the heat from the nuclear fusion reaction. What is that fusion reaction? The two lighter nuclei, it is combined to form a heavier nucleus, which release the energy. Okay, it clear that what it is clean fusion, it produce zero greenhouse gas emission. Emitting it is what clean, that is only helium as exhaust. It is an inert gas in this process that we are getting, and inherently that what it is safe, with zero possibility of meltdown scenario and no long lived waste. That is a safer thing, that is which is given, that is a helium which is come out as a waste inert gas, and abundantly it is available. There is a enough fusion fuels to power the planet for the hundreds of millions of years. So the energy from fusion is another challenges for the engineers. And to develop carbon sequestrations method. What is that? The capturing of carbon dioxide, because the greenhouse gas which contribute to the climate change, storing it underground in the geological formation. It would have captured 90% of the carbon dioxide emission, but now the plant is closed. Almost it is what it is, it was cancelled in the July. But we have many methods, biological and geological method. There is a way that sequestration can be carried out: post combustion capture, pre combustion capture, and oxygen combustion. So that we have, as an engineer, you have the responsibility. The one side the development activities are going on, at the same time the pollutions also increasing, but we have to be eradicate the production of carbon dioxide. That is your responsibility, that you have to be think over it, how to reduce, how to that is develop the that is sequestration method, and how to reduce the carbon dioxide level in the environment and manage the nitrogen cycle. It is very important. Engineer has to help the restore the balance to the nitrogen cycle with better fertilization technology, and by capturing and recycling the waste. So a very important thing, because why it is important to manage the nitrogen cycle? Because nitrogen and carbon cycle, it is required to address the key environmental issues. You know that nitrogen gas from the atmosphere is fixed into organic nitrogen by nitrogen fixing bacteria, and ammonia it is converted into nitrite, then it is converted into nitrate by nitrifying bacteria, and denitrifying bacteria converted into nitrate back into the nitrogen gas, which enter into the atmosphere, re-enter into the atmosphere. So because the 78% of nitrogen it is present in the atmosphere, that it is very much essential for the plant, and other things also we have to maintain. Then provide access to the clean water is one of the major problem in the society in the world. Providing, we have 100% of water, 98% of the water it is present in the ocean as a salt water, which we cannot use it for any industrial and domestic purpose. 98. 2% of the water which is used, that means which is there in the ocean, that is in the polar ice caps in the form of ice, that also we cannot use it. So 97 plus 2, it is 99. Only 1% of the water it is there to access. Even that 1% of the water it is we classify, it maybe it is there in the lake or in the river, in the underground, okay, so like that, in the pond. So very few percentage of water it is available for the drinking purpose. That too, it is now it is getting polluted by the industries. So we have to be ensure that we have to provide access to the clean water to the people. It is very important. The scarcity of the water it is increasing year to year. That what is the solution in the future? As engineers, that you have the responsibility, think over it. And then restore and improve the urban infrastructure. Next, this is what restore, improve the urban infrastructure, because urbanization, the people are moving from the rural to urban for many reasons. Many reasons for what? For for their employment opportunity, for the transportation, for that health, etc., etc. That what the people moving from rural to urban. So the urban developments are there, that we have to restore and improve the urban infrastructure, because we need a good design, and unwanted material can be improved the transportation and energy, water and water system, and also it create a more sustainable urban development. Because it is very much important, we have to maintain and upgrade extensive transport, power, water supply, telecommunication network, in order to keep up with the demand of economic development, the population growth. So the infrastructure in urban, it is essential. It is what? Power station and electricity supply, sewage system, clean that drinking water, etc., etc. And we have to go for major transport system. It is a metro and railway system, telecommunication network. Okay. So due to time concern, that I want to be rushed up for the certain things. So next we can have a advanced health informatic. It is a great challenge, because health and biomedical, that is information, it is what encompass uses from the person to global. It is very important. It is that what safety and quality of patient care, and is the patient portal and the electronic medical record and a telehealth and healthcare app and a variety of data reporting tools. It is very important. It must be outbreak among the government and international health organization, that we have to be very much important, that this we have to take into the account, that what advanced health informatics is very important nowadays. Because today if you go, and previously we don't have any record on it. So nowadays, after few years, if you go and just you can tell your name or some number, it will be given. If it put it into the system, they will tell the history of you, the before, what treatment you have taken, what are the problems, what are the medicines you took, everything, all the informations are in the fingertip. So this is also now that is what another challenge. And the engineers better medicines, that you can help providing that what personalizing that medical treatment, and potentially making them more effective. It is very important. The engineer work with the doctors. It is a very important. Engineer work with the doctor. Engineer is not a separate and work doctor. It is not a separate medical. Engineer must work with the doctor, therapist, researchers to develop the system and equipment and a device to solve the clinical problems. They focus on discovering, formulating, and manufacturing medical, analytical, and quality control processes. It is very important thing. And then reverse engineers brain. This is nothing but what? Back engineering. Because discovering those secrets by the reverse engineering is the brain promises enormous opportunity for reproducing the intelligence. That is another one. Then prevent a nuclear terror. Prevent a nuclear terror. That I don't want to deep into that one. We have to prevent the nuclear terror. Now we have to use the nuclear powers for the only research purpose and the development of our country. Then we have to use it when it is required. It is not for testing and other things, that it should not destroy the countries, that we must be very careful about it, and we must know about that where it is present, that we must know, and we have to be prevent as much as possible. And secure cyberspace nowadays, that what the malicious attack which is there in the records, it is a practice of defending computer, server, mobile device, and electronic system, network, and the data. It is from the malicious attacks. The cyberspace is nothing but what, a global domain within the information environment, consisting of the interdependent network of information system infrastructures, which include internet, telecommunication network, computer system, embedded processors, and controllers. Okay, now we have to be see the secure cyberspace, because attackers may use the proxy hacking to gain advantages over a competitory. So we have to be very careful about it, that advancement is going on, that how do we keep the internet safe and open, that is very important. How do we keep the internet safe and open? Now it is everything, it is in the open. Okay, everybody is getting our datas, what we are doing, even the mail. So that we have to be careful, and it is a great challenge for the engineers. And enhance the virtual reality, it offers that what advantage for various sorts of research, education, and training. The purpose of the virtual reality is what, it provides a human being with a virtual environment, where we can interact with the computer just as we do in the real world. Just that is nothing but what, by talking with a virtual human in a spoken language, by writing a letter, or by drawing a pictures, etc. It is also now it is coming up, that was the science development. Then advanced personalized learning is very important. Now it is come up, we have, you see, sitting at home, we are listening that what lecture of the application of chemistry, and what is there in and around in the world. Previously it was not there that much. The resources are available in front of us, that we have to be utilized properly, because it is a educational approach that aim to customize learning for each student's strength and needs, skill, and interest. So each student gets a learning platform, that he has to he can a learning plan, that it is based on what they know and how they learn best. It's very important thing that we have to do is personalized learning. And here, how will you use technology for learning, that is very important. The resources are available, internets are available, the Google is available. If you put it whatever you need, everything in front of you, that you can learn. But how will you use technology for only learning purpose is very, very, very important for the student life. And engineer to tool of scientific discovery. Here it is a what would you are explore, what would you are explore is very important, because century ahead engineers will what is that continue to be a partner with the scientist. They have the partners in the great quest for understanding many unanswered questions of nature. By why it is important, the technology used to gather data, enhance accuracy, and allow scientists to analyze and quantify result of investigation. So the scientists as well as the engineers, it must combine together. They have to work, and they discover many things. So in the engineer, the tool of scientific discovery, so that you have to be explore yourself on that one. So before to conclude it, have a small video how the chemistry in our life it is there. Just you can listen just for 5 minutes, and after that I will conclude the session.
Have you ever wondered about the importance of chemistry in everyday life? You might ask yourself this question if you're studying chemistry. Finding an answer is one of the most common chemistry treasures. Here's a look at why chemistry matters. Chemistry is the study of matter and its interactions with other matter and energy. Chemistry is important in everyday life because everything is made of chemicals. You are made of chemicals. So is your dog. So is your desk. So is the sun. Drugs are chemicals. Food is made from chemicals. Many of the changes you observe in the world around you are caused by chemical reactions. Chemistry has a reputation for being a complicated and boring science, but for the most part, that reputation is undeserved. Chemistry is fun. It can be used to make colors change, alter recipes, color flames, make things glow in the dark, or even make stuff explode. Fireworks and explosions are based on chemistry, so it's definitely not a boring science. Many people study chemistry not because it's a requirement for a class but because they are interested in using it to explore the world and to try science projects. As hobbies go, chemistry is inexpensive because home chemicals can be used to perform many interesting experiments. Also, anyone can understand the basics of how things work, and that's the study of chemistry. In a nutshell, the importance of chemistry is that it explains the world around you. Chemistry explained cooking. Chemistry explains how food changes as you cook it, how it rots, how to preserve food, how your body uses the food you eat, and how ingredients interact to make food. Cleaning. Part of the importance of chemistry is it explains how cleaning works. You use chemistry to help decide what cleaner is best for dishes, laundry, yourself, and your home. You use chemistry when you use bleaches and disinfectants, even ordinary soap and water. How do they work? That's chemistry. Medicine. You need to understand basic chemistry so you can understand how vitamins, supplements, and drugs can help or harm you. Part of the importance of chemistry lies in developing and testing new medical treatments and medicines. Environmental issues. Chemistry is at the heart of environmental issues. What makes one chemical a nutrient and another chemical a pollutant? How can you clean up the environment? What processes can produce the things you need without harming the environment? We humans are all chemists. We use chemicals every day and perform chemical reactions without thinking much about them. Chemistry is important because everything you do is chemistry. Even your body is made of chemicals. Chemical reactions occur when you breathe, eat, or just sit there reading. All matter is made of chemicals, so the importance of chemistry is that it's the study of everything. Why you should study chemistry. Knowing some chemistry can help you make day-to-day decisions that affect your life. Can I mix these household chemicals? What are safe mosquito repellents? Will my bottled water expire? Can I mix types of motor oils for my vehicle? Everyone can and should understand basic chemistry, but it may be important for you to take a course in chemistry or even make a career out of it. Students wanting to become doctors, nurses, physicists, nutritionists, geologists, pharmacists, and, of course, chemists, all study chemistry. You might want to make a career out of chemistry because chemistry-related jobs are plentiful and high-paying. The importance of chemistry won't be diminished over time, so it will remain a promising career path. So, let's studying chemistry.
Okay, thank you for listening. So just conclusion before the few words that I want to say. Chemistry is widely involved in our daily life and engineering, due to which we cannot ignore it in any aspect of our life. Most of the engineering depends upon chemistry, but we are not so aware of it. So there should be a subject of chemistry in one of the middle semester also of engineering, to promote the knowledge of chemistry in the student, in to apply chemistry theories into the practical life. So hence, scientists and engineers have distinct job description. Engineers can make a world of difference. Scientists dream about doing great things. Engineers do them. Okay, before saying that thank you, think how to inspire the world, how to serve the people. This is my word, that before saying thank you, think how to inspire the world, and how to serve the people. So the last word also I will complete with the Abdul Kalam says, suffering is the essence of success. Thank you. Dr.
Thank you so
Hari,
much, sir.
yes.
Thank you for your enlightening session. Definitely, our students spare your words, they'll serve for the nation, sir. And your
Okay.
session was totally inspiring on the whole how they can enhance their knowledge in the field of chemistry and what are all the things. You gave a good insight of everything, covering everything, sir.
Thank you. Thank
That
you,
was
ma'am.
wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Wahid sir.
Thank you, Hari. Thanks
Thank
for giving me the opportunity. And it is a good platform me to learn certain thing also. So I want to thank you for inviting. Okay, thank you very much to your management and principal also.
thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma. Can I
நான்
leave
வந்து
now?
பண்ணிக்கிறேன் சார்.
Okay, okay, ma. Okay.
Guys, now let us move on to the next session. Literary review. Literary review. We all watch movies, read books, say a novel, poetry, any piece of work of art, even an article. After reading that, what is the impact that creates in us? If you are asked to give a review, give a view of what you have read, what you watched, how we'll give it. This session is going to tell us totally about that. How we are going to give a look, give an approach towards any piece of work. That's what we are going to see now. And this thing consists of various perspectives. How we can it surveys, it critically analyzes, it presents all the whole the information, then it summarizes the information. Everything we can do in a literary review, and we are going to get to know of all those things now. And for that, we have with us Mrs. C.N. Vidyalakshmi. I'm happy and very much delighted to introduce my friend Mrs. C.N. Vidyalakshmi to you all. Madam Vidyalakshmi is an assistant professor in English, communication placement trainer at Perry Institute of Technology. Not only that, she is an excellent articulator, an orator, a speaker, uh, a very good influencer. She has created a great influence, impact in the minds of all the students she had handled in her all through her years of career. She has a great expertise in LSRW skills, that is listening, speaking, reading, writing skills. And she has a clear diction which we can understand each and every word of hers will fall as though a ball is falling into a socket. Everything gets in our mind, impressed in our mind clearly. That is the diction usually like. And she's also a creative thinker. She keeps us vibrant throughout the session, whether it is a classroom, an online session, whatever it may be. She is herself on the whole, and she is a learner naturally. She learns everything. She keeps herself updated with all the trends and strategies of teaching, all the methodology of teaching and training. Thus, she has enhanced her strength through various certifications also. To list a few of her certifications, apart from her qualification as an MPhil holder, MA and MPhil holder, she is also pursuing. Apart from that, she also has secured certifications, various certifications. To list a few, she has secured certificate as a trainer from VSkills. She is a TESOL trainer from IEEE, soft skills trainer, uh, British Council certified business English communication trainer and a teacher, IELTS teacher, trainer, and whatnot. She's qualified for much more things. I have listed very few things, guys, for your understanding. She is not only an expert in English language teacher. Apart from that, she is also a multi-faceted personality who is also qualified with being an event organizer. She's a choreographer, she's a cultural organizer, She had lived for 6 to 7 years in US, and there she kept herself engaged, doing many projects for kids in schools. And she had been event organizer, as I told you, cultural organizer and a choreographer. She performed with a group. She made those household women to perform the dance over there. So she is really, as I told you, multi-talented personality. And now I'm proudly inviting ma'am Vidyarakshmi ma'am. The podium is all yours now. Take yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm totally delighted and flabbergasted by the way you have introduced, and it really made my day. You know, the words from you, my closest to my heart and everything. Thank you so much, dear. Thank you so much.
We are
Thank you
much
so much
honored
for
for your
that.
presence, ma'am.
Yes, and I'm so happy. Thank you, Harin sir, for giving me this opportunity again. I just want to say a word for him too. And yeah, and can I interact with the students? Is it possible for me to interact with them?
Ma'am, through the chat box, ma'am. This is a YouTube streaming, so we
Okay.
can chat with the students through the chat box.
Okay. Okay. Well done. Well done. Okay, ma'am.
They'll
No
respond
problem.
you, ma'am, through the chat box.
afterwards feedback on American.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay. No problem. No problem. So, is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am. The screen is not
Okay.
visible. Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you will be online, right? If I have any issues, I can call you. I can contact you, right? If I have any issues in sharing or anything, you'll be with us, right? You can reply me. Okay. Okay. A very good morning to you all, my dear kids. So happy and heartily welcome for you for stepping into a new career of your life, the college career, which we have seen many thousands of kids who are stepping into this career.
Excuse me. Sorry for the
And
interruption. Vidya ma'am.
yes,
Sorry for the
ma'am.
interruption. Can you please
No
turn
problem.
on your camera so that
Oh,
you'll be
okay.
visible to all the students?
Okay. Just hold on a minute.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yep. Am I?
Yeah, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're visible to
Okay.
us.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's go into this session. Like the ma'am has seriously, she's given a good introduction about this book review. What is a book review? What is a review? And she has given a beautiful description of what we usually do. Fine. Ma'am, can I be bilingual or is it okay if I go on with my own language? Is it
Ma'am, how are
okay?
you like? How are you
How
like? You
you
can be bilingual, or if you would like to speak, go ahead only in English. That is also okay.
Okay.
It's for your comfort.
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah, however it comes for me, that let it go. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible. You're audible, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Because this streaming is quite new to us, so that's the reason why I'm been stopping kind of. Okay. So before going into this review kind of what is a review, what is reading and all those stuff, I just want to make sure that all the kids over here are very much familiar with the words LSRW. Okay. That is listening, speaking, reading, and writing, which are the basic communication skills what we have. Without knowing that, without being master in all those four skills, it will be very difficult for us to go for the next step in English language communication, especially these four skills. இது நாலும் நமக்கு கம்பல்சரியா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். We have to know these four. Okay. And in that, third one falls is this reading, and reading comes in the third one. We all wonder why it is coming in the third place. Isn't it important? Why? It is because listening and speaking will go together, reading and writing will go together. So if you are very much confident in reading, you are very good, you can master yourself in writing. Okay. What are the things we're going to see today? This is the roadmap for this session. First, we're going to talk about what's reading, just some glimpses of it. What are the things we need for this, especially for this book review that we're going to see. And we are going to go to the next step for this review. Even though ma'am has given a good description of what a review is, we'll just go in detail, in depth for what is a review and what are the steps involved in that. There are many steps for reading as well as for writing. You know, there are two different journals kind of. reading, a review for reading and review for writing. Those two are totally different, and we are going to concentrate on both the things. And we are going to have some samples of review writing. What are the review writings we have so far that we are
Ma'am,
going to see?
sorry for the interruption once again. Your voice is a bit breaking, ma'am.
Okay. Am I
Uh,
audible now?
yeah, now it's clear. But when you are
Okay.
speaking, and probably as you are away from the laptop, so your voice is
Okay.
breaking.
Okay. I'm coming closer to my laptop. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't mind because my face is very close to the camera. I hope the kids are not bothered about that. That's okay. Jokes apart. So here I have the famous, I hope you all know him, Francis Bacon. We all know him for this famous quote, reading maketh a fool man. You know, here reading comes the first part. Please just realize yourself, kids, like how many times or how you spend the day, 24 hours, how much time you spend for reading. Are you spending any time for reading? You know, because this in this digital world, digital day-to-day life, we are not reading anything. We're not taking a book just for fun, okay, just for our pleasure. Nothing. We're not doing anything. I think ma'am and sir will accept with the fact. Like when we were kids, we go to the grocery store, we'll buy something, and there, they'll fold everything in a piece of paper. No plastic covers, no nothing, no Ziplocs, nothing was available at that time when we were young. So they'll just fold it up that in some newspaper or some journal, something, some paper, which has some writing in that. So what we used to do, we used to just empty that and we used to read that paper. Hope ma'am will accept with me. We used to read that. That much of reading spirit were there when we were young, maybe a decade or before. It was like that. So there it suits this. This proverb suits that. But now where are we? Where are we? Fine. Just to show that, I want you people to read it. I know you cannot read it by read it, unmute your mic and read it. That's okay, but you just read it. Just let me know in chat box whether you can read this. I want everybody to go through this and read it, and just let me know in the chat box whether you can read it. Yeah.
Ma'am, only the first slide is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Only the first slide is there, which introduces you.
Oh,
Yeah, now it's
I
okay. Try reading this. This is there.
okay. So the previous thing is this what I have shown, roadmap for today's session. We are going to talk about the glimpses, about reading, and what is a review, and steps involved in it, and the samples, and the dearest Bacon, Francis Bacon, his famous quote. He always states, reading is the main thing. Reading comes first. Reading will make you a full man. Then only the writing comes. Okay. If you, like what I already told you, if you have this, if you have have mastered the skills of reading, automatically all will fall in the line. And just go through this and let me know whether you can read this thing faster. If you can. Yes.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
read it? Can I have the messages in the chat box? Yes, no, something like that. What does it mean? Why this passage has been like this? Will you be able to read it? If you can read it, just let me know. I'll post you some questions so that you can answer me. Can you read this? Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible. Though it's bit breaking, you're audible enough.
Okay. hope the kids would have been reading this. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am, they are reading it. They are replying you in the chat box as they are able to read it. One response in the chat box says the words are full of mistake, but we can able to read. Be in the line, be in the stream, ma. Wait, there is a mistake. Network problem in her end. I'll just get it connected to her now. Just stay for a while.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, am I audible?
ma'am, can I continue?
Yeah, please continue, ma'am.
Okay, I
Screen
mean,
suddenly went off. Your screen, both the screens.
okay, but for me, it is everything is clear here, so I just keep on talking. So that's okay. Okay. If my screen is visible now, I can go to the next one.
Now you are
Okay,
audible enough, ma'am. You
okay,
can maintain this thing,
okay,
this volume level, I think.
okay, ma'am. Okay,
You are
thank you. So
closer
see,
bit.
okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, sorry for the disturbances here, kids. Okay, see, reading is this. Only the first
It
letter
may be because
and
of
the
the
last
network.
letter. Yeah,
No problem, ma'am.
ma'am.
Continue. Yes, ma'am. Continue,
Okay.
ma'am. Probably because of the network issue.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Okay. See, so the reading is only the first letter and the last letter should be in that proper place. In between, our mind will calculate what the word is. But that doesn't mean we know the meaning of that word. Okay, that is secondary. Only to understand the word itself, this is enough. I hope everybody would have read it. I don't think that no guy or girl would have not read it. Everybody would have read it. So this is what reading is. Understanding the meaning is secondary. Okay, understanding the word itself, reading the word itself. This is what. So reading is quite easy. That is what we are going to say that reading is quite easy, and reading is for pleasure. How far we are taking it as, or how far we are viewing it as a pleasure, matters a lot for that. And as I have told you, people, like how many of you are reading every day? So this is the latest data what we have for reading among the youngsters, among your teen kid
Ma'am, it's
young.
buffering. It's buffering there. Your screen, where your camera is on, that screen is buffering, Chris, and your audio is not quite clear. Sorry for the inconvenience
I really don't know. Yeah, I
of
mean, I'm
interrupting
getting
very
everything.
often,
I'm getting it everything properly here. You are.
but
I
it
can
is
see.
buffering here for us.
I don't know. My strength is full here. My network strength is full here for me.
Yes, ma'am. Proceed, ma'am. You continue, ma'am.
Okay, no need the slides also. That is okay. I can. If they can hear me, that is more than enough for me. That is more than enough for me. Okay. See, so how many of you are reading every day? How many of you are to the core? To the core, taking some book physically and reading, and how much time you are spending on reading? It is very less, very less. You yourself can think over it. I don't want you people to just just say for the sake of saying. Don't do it like that. Think over it. How many of you are spending some time, some valuable time in reading something? Whatever you're reading, it's not a problem. That doesn't mean you have to read your textbook alone, or that doesn't mean you have to read for your academic side alone. It is not necessary at all. It is not at all needed. What book you're reading? No, either you're reading something. That matters a lot over there. So spend at least half hour every day to keep you updated with something. See, we used to read novels, we used to read monthly magazines or any magazines, articles, journals, whatever it is. We used to read a lot, a lot. நம்ம நிறைய படிப்போம், நிறைய படிச்சுட்டே இருக்கணும். So we can keep ourselves updated, and that will help you to write a lot. Those who are writing, it will be very much helpful for your career. You know that we are stepping into your career the first time, the first step you have taken. So you know that what is the position of reading, what is the position of writing in your career. That the next of the other two things. Okay, now going into this part. What is review? What is review? Sam has given a clear introduction about a review, right? A film review or a book review, or any of the brand, any new brand would have come, any new brand car would have come, the review, all the stuff, it would have come to you. Okay. So what is a review? What is a book review? Analyzing it. That is a perfect word for that. You will read the book, you will do everything, but what you will do a analysis. That is called the review. That is an equivalent word for that. We don't want any other word over there. Fine. Analysis. Now, what do you mean by the word analysis or analyzing? நம்ம படிப்போம் book நம்ம first page in the last page வரைக்கும் ஒரு line விடாம we used to read it. If you're a bookworm kind of, you keep on reading all this stuff. I accept that. Are we analyzing the book? Are we analyzing it? So we just go through what I mean by the word analysis. Analysis na ennangarada we'll just go through one by one. If you're taking a book or a novel or any of the motivational book or any of those stuff, like how we are reading it. Are we reading it just for the sake of reading? Are we reading it to review it? These two are totally different genres kind of. சும்மா ஒரு pleasureக்காக படிக்கிறதுங்கிறது வேற, ஒரு ரிவ்யூ பண்ணி நம்ம பண்ணணும், சப்மிட் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக படிக்கிறதுங்கிறது வேற. These two are totally different. So if you are in first starter, your job is over. You are started reading, you read, you had pleasure reading, close your book, you can go up. That is all. But when you are doing this review, then you have asked by your lecturers to do the review kind of. What are the things you have to do? Okay. The first step in the review is choosing a book, which is very much important. The first step, just believe me, okay? It will take at least a month for you to realize what sort of book you are interested in reviewing, not reading. You have stopped reading, okay? Reading for pleasure, reading for fun, all those stuff we have come across, okay? So now we are going into the other part for reviewing purpose. Eppadi nama review pananum அப்படிங்கறத நம்ம பார்க்கணும். Okay, this selecting of books or this selecting of journals. Now you all know what are the journals we have. That in the next slide will tell you what is it. Okay, so how you are going to choose the correct book for you, the perfect book. Yes, if I want to read a novel, let me go. In the novel poetry venuma, poetry padinga, prose padikringa, prose padinga. No, I'm not interested in any of those things. I'm just interested in this motivational stuff, like Shiv Kera's You Can Win, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's, all those many writers, many leaders, they will write many motivational books. So if you are very much confident, if you are very much happy, if you are feeling very much comfortable, very important word for reading reviewing is the word comfortable. You have to feel comfortable. We are not supposed to do like that.
Ma'am, sorry for the interruption. 1 minute, sorry. Once again, it is going on. Your voice is breaking very often. Can you, if you don't mind, can you please use headset?
Headset, I have kept it down. I have to go down for that. I'm really sorry. I'll try to be a bit louder because because of
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
noise over here. It is like that idea. Okay, so I'll continue. I'm sorry. Okay, so the selection of books, which book you want to choose, which area you want to suggest. Okay, now novel படிக்கிறேன். So you guys have decided that, okay, let me go for a novel. So what type of novel you want to go through? Either you want to go through for a romance, or you want to go through for the science fiction, or you want to go through for this thriller, all those stuff. So selecting comes the first part in reviewing purpose, not for reading purpose and reviewing. Selecting a book, choosing a book is very much important. அதை வச்சுதான் உன்னோட இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் அதுல இருந்தாதான் வந்து உன்னால ரிவ்யூ பண்ண முடியும். Otherwise you cannot review a book. Okay. And once you have selected, so you have selection is of two ways. Okay, selecting the author or selecting the genres of the book. எப்ப நான் பண்ணலாம், நாவல்ஸா நாம ரொமான்டிக் நாவலா படிக்கலாம், இல்லைன்னா த்ரில்லரா படிக்கலாம்னு நீங்க நினைச்சாலும் ஓகே. Or I want particularly of this author, I want particularly of Chetan Bhagat's, or I want particularly of Rajesh Kumar's, or I want particularly of Siddhartha's. Anything. You can take the author or you can take the genre of the book. If an element, you have to select the book. So once you have done the selection of the book, you have to go with the pre-reading of it. What do you mean by pre-reading? Now, I really imagine that comes to my mind when we go to the library or when we go to any of the bookshops. What I usually do, I read the back of the page, back of the book. It will give you the gist of the skimming, scanning, and it will give you the gist of the story, or it will tell you what is the book is about. So that is pre-reading. You can have a set of pre-reading. That is one of the types of pre-reading, what I usually do. But here, pre-reading for you, if you are taking some selection of books, once if you have selected some selection of books, if you have selected some book, okay, say for example, thriller. What do you mean by the word thriller? So you have to have a pre-reading. What are the thrillers? What do you mean by a thriller? What are the things you can expect in a thriller book? All those stuff is the literature survey. We can call it our word. We call that as literature survey. That is what I have given here as a pre-reading. Okay, that you have to do that. And you have to read it in an active way. See, there are two ways of reading, active reading and passive reading. We usually generally call that as active reading. That doesn't mean you have to do some action and read. It is not like that. Active reading, your mind, your body, your soul, all of that is into those words. Whatever word you are reading, that will go directly into your mind with fully comprehensible. நீங்க என்ன படிக்கிறீங்களோ அது ஒரு வார்த்தையும் புரிஞ்சுட்டு படிக்கிறது தான் this active reading actually. Okay, so you have to read whatever book you are reading. You have to read it very actively. You have to understand that. Here I want to add one more point. See, we are not very good at reading. To speak the truth, let me be frank. Okay, we are not very good at reading. We are not a person who knows thousands and 10,000 vocabularies. Okay, we are not like that. So there are certain words which we feel we don't understand the meaning of that word. நமக்கு அந்த வார்த்தைக்கு மீனிங் தெரியாது. So what we can do at that time? Here comes this word context clue. Context clueங்கிறது I'll explain to you. There's a sentence. In a sentence, one word is there. I'll say one sentence. You just understand the meaning of that word. He is satisfied, but I am malcontent. He is satisfied, but I am malcontent. So we don't know the meaning of the word malcontent. Malcontent na enna namakku nijama satyama theriyadu. Appo nam enna pannom? We have to think. We have to read the full sentence. Fine. We have to go with the previous sentence. He is satisfied, but I am malcontent. Okay? The word but shows it is the opposite meaning of the word satisfied. Satisfied or opposite word than the malcontent. That I am not satisfied. So this is called as a context clue. You get the meaning of the word from the context itself, from the line, from the passage you have been reading. Even though you don't know the meaning of that word, you can get the meaning of that word from the context around the word. In a word தெரியலையோ அந்த வார்த்தையை சுத்தி இருக்கிற சென்டென்ஸ் வச்சு நம்ம மீனிங் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறது தான் கான்டெக்ஸ்ட் க்ளூ. So when you are doing it active read, when you are reading it in a very passionate way, I can use the word passionate over here. When you are doing that, these are the things what you have to utilize. You cannot go for each and every word you cannot go excuse me, each and everybody, you cannot go for a dictionary or Google it or take a thesaurus. Nothing you can do. It is not possible, because when you are reading it in that much pleasure way, in that much stipulated mind, it will be very difficult for you to go and just refer now and then. Often it is not possible. So use this context clue when you are reading whatever you are reading. It is not only for reviewing purpose. I'm saying whatever you are reading, you can go with that thing. And then do a survey of it. நீங்க படிச்சுட்டே இருக்கீங்க, keep keep the survey. Okay, இந்த இடத்துல இந்த author வந்து இந்த மாதிரி பேசியிருக்காரு, and in this place the same point he has said in this place. So where are the points he has said? Just compare and have a survey of that and jot down all the points, whatever you feel it will be necessary for you to review the book. Okay, review பண்றதுக்கு என்னெல்லாம் பண்ணலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது you have to write it down. Jot down the points. Some quotations what he would have said, or ஏதாவது ஒரு definition மாதிரி ஏதாவது சொல்லிருப்பாங்க. Some usually we need to have some quotations. இப்போ நம்ம படம் பார்க்குறோம், we are watching a film and we are going to give a review. You would have seen many reviews on YouTube. You are very much familiar with that than us. So how they are reviewing it? They'll say each and everything, the hero's introduction or the heroine's introduction or some fight scenes or some cinematography over there, or the settings over there, everything they'll say. So you have to do the survey. Here it is not a movie, it is not a video thing, it is in the book. You have to visualize that everything, whatever you are reading, and you have to do the survey of that. Make a note of everything, whatever you think it is important. Okay, whatever you feel that it is an important, you are going to make a note of it. So when you are doing the survey, when you have jot down the points, you have to read it critically. Critical reading you have to do. What do you mean by critical reading? Now comes the spheres of reviewing. Okay, who is the author? What is the purpose of writing this book? Okay, is he satisfying that purpose? Has he achieved that purpose? Is the book worth reading? So you have to keep on doing all this stuff of critical thing when you're reading the book. Okay, and after going with that thing, you have to know, can you predict something? Can you predict what may happen the next? Usually we do, right? Or a book படிக்கும்போது climax இதோட இருக்கலாம் அப்படினு நம்ம நினைப்போம். So try predicting and try questioning yourself. Questioning in the sense அந்த புக்குக்கு ரிலேட்டடா. இப்போ ஒரு ஹீரோ வந்து இருக்காரு, he is working somewhere and he's going for some other abroad he's going. அங்க போய் அவன் என்னெல்லாம் பண்ணுவான், அவனுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் பிரச்சனை வருமா, will he face any of these problems? So start questioning yourself. If you start questioning, you are fit to review the book. If you are not questioning, if no question is coming to your mind when you are reviewing a book, when you are reading a book for review, you are not fit for review. Keep that in your mind. Okay, you need to have as many questions as possible. ஒரே ஒரு paragraph படிச்சாலும், even though you are reading a paragraph alone, if you are getting at least 2 or 3 questions out of that paragraph, yes, you are worth for reviewing something. And once if you have started questioning that, you will have some answers in your mind. Okay, anyhow, without the answer we cannot have a question. So you will have your own answers. So evaluate that answers with the author's idea. Author என்ன சொல்றாங்களோ அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி you just evaluate your answer. That is very much important. Okay, so these are the process in reviewing. Once you've started reviewing this, you can go on with your work. Okay, just for a quick brain teaser, read this faster, and I'll tell you whether you are fit for review. Kind of, I'm sorry to use the word fit, but just read this faster and let me know whether you can read it. Yeah, this is a coded kind of, coded language, we'll say, coded thing which will help your mind to read faster, to read better. I don't want to use the word faster, to read better. Okay, so what is the thing it is? This message serves to prove how our minds can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning it was hard, but now on this line your mind is reading it automatically without even thinking about it. Be proud, only certain people can read this. Okay, so that it's quite difficult. First time you cannot read it. This is what a review is. First time you cannot review a book. You have read the full book once. ஒரு முறை அந்த book full படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. That is only for your pleasure. You are reading, not for reviewing purpose. Read it again. You have to read that book again. Fine. Once if you are very much familiar with all the stuff what the author is trying to say, what you are getting out of that book, then only you are fit for the review purpose. So this, even the same thing like this message, this whatever word it is, we cannot read it in the beginning. You should have an idea. Okay, P na இப்படி இருக்கும் போல இருக்கு. 5 மாதிரி இருந்ததுன்னா அது S மாதிரி நம்ம assume பண்ணிக்கணும். 3 மாதிரி இருந்ததுன்னா அது E மாதிரி இருக்கும். So all these stuff you have to assume, you have to analyze, and then only you can give the output. Same is for reviewing purpose. You have to analyze, you have to digest everything what the author is trying to say in that book. You have to digest each and every word what the author has said it. Then only you can go with that. Or else it will be difficult. Okay? Okay. Just for, I have told you, right, if you are ready to question, you are ready for reviewing. Okay. If you are not ready to question, even though a single question out of a paragraph, it would be very difficult. Okay. Read this passage, and post 2 questions for me in the chat faster. Okay. Please read this passage. Just post any 2 questions, whatever questions you are getting into your mind after reading this passage. Just post it in the chat box. I'll give you a minute time for you to read this faster. Any questions? What questions we can ask with this passage? We have 2 characters here, Paul and Alice. We have 2 characters. And you know what Paul is doing and what Alice is doing. Any questions here? Are you getting any questions after reading this passage? Yeah? Can I wait for your questions? Are you guys busy reading? I assume so. Okay.
Ma'am, one question is
know.
there.
Ma'am?
Where he threw his dusty overalls. One question.
Okay.
One question I came across. TGW Maddie has created a question where he threw his dusty overalls. That is a question that he has created.
Okay, good, good.
Where he dropped the same guy again, where he dropped the garbage bag.
Okay, good job.
And this Freddie Paul, one Mr. Freddie Paul has created a question, which work?
Okay. Paul, what is the job, right? What is his job? Okay.
Yes,
good.
With whom he had a dinner.
Okay. Good, good, good. See, you can have n number of questions. What is the relationship between Paul and Alice, and which country the story belongs to? With this passage, with the paragraph what has been given to you, you have to analyze what might be the country does Paul belong to. Right? Because of the word porch, because of the word garbage, we can say it is a US-based country. Okay? Because porch is always the North American, they use those words. Garbage, even now here we started using, but it is the word that we have over there. Okay? And muddy boots, Boots is also if you go for the word boots, it is more of British shoes. So there are many farm nale British ஞாபகம் தான் வரும். We'll go with that thing. Okay. So this is how you have to start reading a passage for a review. You have to ask as many questions as possible, whichever you are getting into your mind after reading a passage. Just passage, ஒரே ஒரு passage தான். Passage வச்சுட்டு என்னெல்லாம் நம்மளால questions frame பண்ண முடியுமோ அவ்வளோ questions நம்ம frame பண்ணணும். And what your work is the author of the book answers your question. நம்ம questions பார்த்துட்டோம், இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. இந்த questions-க்கு எல்லாம் வந்து answer இந்த bookல இருக்காங்கிறது we have to verify that. There we are analyzing it. Okay. So this is just for your brain teaser, as we used to call that as brain teaser. And how to start? எப்படி நம்ம start பண்ணலாம்? We have to have what and all you have to do before you're going to start a review. Now you started, your lecturer has given you a book, prescribed a book for you, and they will ask you to review for that book. Come the next week, you have to review this. Okay. And to speak the truth, there is no proper way of writing a review. Review there is no proper way. Agenda review. It is highly personal. It is very much personal. Okay. நம்மளோட வியூ என்னவோ அதெல்லாம் நம்ம ரிவ்யூவா எழுத போறோம். நம்ம ஒரு புக்கை படிச்சுட்டு அந்த புக்ல நமக்கு என்னெல்லாம் தோன்றதோ that is what we are going to give it as a review. So there is no hard and fast rule for writing a review. If you have to write a review, you have to have 1 inch margin in the mari போட்டுருக்கணும், from இருக்கணும், to இருக்கணும், all those stuff which we have for all the formal writing. It won't come under formal writing. So you can be as comfortable as possible. That is what I'm always using the word comfortable when I'm talking about this review. Okay, review is what our heart feels. And it depends. The size of the review depends on the book what you have taken, and depends on the person who is writing, and depends on the author too. எல்லாமே. Okay. உனக்கு எவ்வளோ எழுதணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களோ அவ்வளோதான் நம்மளால எழுத முடியும். அவன் வந்து 5 pages எழுதியிருக்கான், என்னால் ஒரு பேஜுக்கு மேல எழுத முடியும். No problem at all. If you can put all of your thoughts, whatever you think of the book, in a page or in 10 pages, no matter. That doesn't matter a lot. But if you can put that is enough. That is more than enough for that. Okay. So you have to understand. That's what I said. Depends on the book what your lecturer going to give to you, or what you are going to select. That will depend on the assignment what you are taking, what has been given to you. That you have to do that. Okay. And the fourth point, இப்போ உங்களுக்கு அது யூஸ் ஆகாது, but this is what we generally use for a review to the audience. I have to talk to the audience. இப்போ நான் இங்க உட்கார்ந்துட்டு I cannot talk the thing what I have done earlier, 2 years முன்னாடி நான் அங்க போனா அத பண்ண இத பண்ண. I cannot talk like that to you people, because I have a set of audience, and this is a formal setup, and I have my own agenda. This is what I'm going to do. So you have to keep all the time, whenever you are doing a professional setup, or professional speech, or professional writing format, whatever you want to do, you have to keep your audience in your mind. அவங்களுக்காகத்தான் நம்ம எழுத போறோம், அவங்களுக்காகத்தான் நம்ம பேச போறோம். ஏன்னா நம்ம பேச போறதும் எழுத போறதும் it has to be chewed by them. They have to analyze that. They have to read it. அவங்களுக்கு அது யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். So that is our main thing. நம்ம எப்படி வந்து கஸ்டமர்ஸ் are next to God for all the clients over there அப்படி சொல்றோமோ, நம்ம பேசுறவங்களுக்கும் சரி எழுதுறவங்களுக்கும் சரி audience is the first word for us. So we have to do everything for them. Keeping them in our mind, we have to all of us. Okay, so reading is over for you. How you have to read a book, you have to select, then you have to analyze it, then you have to read it critically, then you have to jot down all those points, you have to have the quotations with you, all those stuff you have done. So you have something in your mind. ஒரு மாதிரி நீங்க வந்து ஒரு brainstorm பண்ணி you would have organized everything. நல்லா organize பண்ணி வச்சிருப்பீங்க. So these are the things what I'm going to do. Like that you would have organized. And after organizing all those stuff, after just jotting down, after brainstorming all those stuff, after reading, what you have to do, how you have to write it. படிச்சா மட்டும் போறாது, அதுல வந்து படிக்கிறது மட்டும் கிடையாது, எழுதுறதுங்கிறது it is enough. Next to the book review. Again, here you have to choose a book, whatever book you have chosen, and you have to plan it. You have to give an introduction, you have to give the body of your review, and you have to go for the conclusion. We'll see what does that mean. Choose. These are the genres. These are the different genres what we have in selecting the book, whatever book you want to select. Okay, you have romance, you have adventure, all these stuff. Pick any one. Don't go for, I like adventure. No, I go for mystery. How about a thriller, yeah? But your friend will say, yeah, I like poetry, let me take poetry. My friend is taking fantasy, let me go with her. Don't, no, that is all totally wrong, idiotic, I'll say. Okay, whichever your mind and your heart says, yes, I'm comfortable with crime stories, I'm comfortable with classics, I'm comfortable with science fiction. அந்த மாதிரி எது உங்களுக்கு தோன்றுது? ஹாரி பாட்டர், if you take Harry Potter, if you love Harry Potter, it will go for science fiction. If you love all the other stuff, the Independence Day, all those stuff kind of, you go for classics, all this stuff. So உனக்கு என்ன தோன்றதோ, உனக்கு வந்து இது கம்ஃபர்டபுளா இருக்கும்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா you can go for that. But there are certain people, like they will go for crime in the beginning, but they won't feel comfortable in that. Then they'll go for the other sectors like horror or romance or adventure. So till your heart and mind says, yes, this is the genre for me, keep on reading. But don't do anything because your friend or the other person is doing that. Totally, this is personal, purely personal, is writing a review and reading a book. Okay, I'm saying in the other way, reading a book and writing a review. So it is purely personal. You have to do what your mind says. If your mind says, if your mind is set up for this, okay, finish it off. That is all. That is what you need. Okay, so you have selected a genre. Excuse me, you have selected any one of the genre. What is there? And you started, you're reading all those stuff, you have jotted down some points, you have critically analyzed that, all the stuff is there. And now comes the planning sector for writing this. All these things what we're seeing is for writing. Now that has come to you. First one, you have to give the outline of the book. இந்த புக் யார் எழுதுறாங்க, என்ன பத்தி எழுதியிருக்காங்க, என்னெல்லாம் இதுல சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, ஜஸ்ட் அவுட்லைன், skeleton work, what we call that as. அது ரொம்ப ஃபார்மல் வேர்ட் கிடையாது, but I'm saying that skeleton work we'll say. Note making, I don't know whether you are familiar with that. Maybe in your 12th and in 11th would have gone through that. Note making, not note taking, note making we do. So that is what this outline is. Once if you have done with the outline, and I start analyzing it. இதுல எத்தனை கேரக்டர்ஸ் இருக்கு, இதுல மெயின் தீம் என்ன தீம் பத்தி சொல்றாங்க, are there many different themes in this, is the author sticking to the theme throughout the novel, throughout the book, இல்ல ஏதாவது ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷனல் ஸ்பீச் பத்தி பேசுறதா இருந்தாலும், அந்த மாதிரி புக் எடுக்கிறதா இருந்தாலும், is the author going with that main theme, ஏதாவது ஒரு தீம் பத்தி தான் சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லைங்களா, அந்த மாதிரி தீம் பத்தி are they fulfilling that throughout the book, அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் பண்றாங்களா அப்படிங்கறது பார்க்கிறது தான் planning. So you have to plan it out. After you have planned, you can go for this introduction. Now comes the best part of writing. இப்பதான் நம்ம எழுதவே ஆரம்பிக்க போறோம். You have started, you have read the book, you have had a good plan in your mind. Okay, outline, இந்த மாதிரிலாம் தான் நம்ம எழுத போறோம், இத பத்திலாம் தான் நம்ம பேச போறோம் அப்படிங்கிறது. We are not going to write the same book again for a review. Mind it. Okay, if the book is of 30 pages, you're not going to write 30 page, அது அப்படியே நம்ம எழுதுறதுக்கு வந்து review கிடையாது. You can write 100 pages review also, it is not a big deal. 100 pages நம்ம book எழுதலாம், அது வந்து எழுதுறவங்கள பொறுத்தது. Okay, so that doesn't mean you have to write the same numbers, அப்படி மாதிரிங்கிறது கிடையாது. Okay, it is up to you people, how much ever you are writing, it is till you are writing, it is not. First and foremost, what you have to introduce is the title of the book, the name of the author, and how many pages it has, pagination if you want. If you know the price of the book also, you can write எந்த இடத்துல பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க, எந்த இயர்ல பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க, பப்ளிகேஷன் யாரு, இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் டீடைல் வந்து நம்ம கொடுத்தே ஆகணும். That is must, that is mandatory when you are writing a review. Okay, and then you obviously you have to justify the cover page. Justification is we have to justify. We don't know whether the author has justified it or not. The author justify பண்ணாங்களா இல்லையாங்கிறது வந்து நம்ம புக் படிச்ச பிறகு நமக்கு தெரியும். But how we are justifying after reading a book, ஏன்னா நம்ம புக் கவர்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா, இப்போ நம்ம அனிதா தேசாய் or any of the other authors whomever we take, R.K. Narayan's books, whoever's books you take, cover pageல வந்து first page தான் cover page னு சொல்லுவோம். அந்த page they would have given a picture. Definitely any picture will be there in that book. Is that picture justifies the title of the book? Is that picture justifies the content of the full book? அந்த புக்கை பற்றியும் அந்த பிக்சரும் வந்து ஜஸ்டிஃபை ஆறுதா, ஒத்து போகுதா, அது ரெண்டும் வந்து கரெக்டாக பண்ணியிருக்காங்களா, அந்த ஆத்தர் வந்து கரெக்டாக எழுதியிருக்காரு அப்படிங்கிறத பார்க்கறது தான். And that justification you have to do in writing, not by saying or not by reading. You have to do everything in writing. Thesis statement will say, or ungalku thesis ingre word ku meaning illa, the theme of the book. What is the main theme of the book? See, a book will have many themes. Nariya themes irukum or book la. Biography or autobiography in the book எடுத்துட்டாலும் அந்த bookல வந்து நிறைய themes பத்தி சொல்வாங்க. But all those themes will be related to one main theme of the book. So what is the main theme of that book? Are you going with that book? அந்த bookல வந்து நீங்க அந்த மாதிரி போறீங்களா அப்படிங்கிறது தான் முக்கியம். And once if you have given an introduction about what is the book, this is the main theme of that book, you are coming to the body of the review. அதுல என்ன பண்ணணும் நீங்க? You have to summarize. See, summarize யார் பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, இப்போ உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு கொஸ்டின் கேட்டாங்கன்னா, read the following passage and give a summary of the passage அப்படின்னு கொடுத்தாங்க, that you are giving. That is not a review. Okay, giving a summary of the book and giving a summary with analysis of that book are totally different. The first one, what I said, is the summary. நீ வந்து summary வந்து எழுதுறீங்க, write a summary of this Shakespeare or as you like it, பத்தி ஏதாவது summary எழுதுன்னு சொல்லி எழுதுனாங்கன்னா, that is summary. And when you are analyzing it, each and everything, part by part analysis is review. So we need to do a review in this. First, we have to summarize. Summarize, summarize oda nirthama, we have to give quotations, we have to analyze it. In the madri onu sollirka, in the character vandu in the mari pannada, is it justified? Adu vandu justified mari pannirukanga. Many feminist writers are there. Okay, நிறைய பேர் வந்து மற்ற ஊர் பத்தி பேசுவாங்க, இல்ல அந்த அந்த நாள்ல நான் இப்படி இருந்தேன், நிறைய many things are there. You know, it is an ocean. Reading books or selecting books is like, it's very difficult for you to do that at the beginning. And in the beginning, it will be very difficult for you. But once if you are doing that, it will be good. So you have to start analyzing. எல்லாமே ஒரு பார்ட்டும் ஒரு scene by scene you have to analyze it. And you have to put it in words whether the author is justifying everything. ஒரு சில authors வந்து பண்ண மாட்டாங்க, they won't justify it, they really won't justify it. Okay, but unoda point of view என்ன, that is what we are going to give it in the conclusion. You are going to summarize it and you are going to give your own view of the book. இந்த bookல இதெல்லாம் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, இந்த மாதிரிலாம் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இந்த மாதிரி scenes எல்லாம் இருக்கு, and the author has satisfied this thing. And yes, I recommend this book for the audience to read. No, I won't recommend this. The price is too much. The author is very much biased. The author is not showing respect for some community, something like that. And the marila maradella, you can give your own review, own view. That is what the review is. Nambla patti namba enna nenikrom, what we are thinking, that is very much important for that. Okay, so this is how you have to write a review with all these points. I'll just go and do that thing again for you. This is how you have to write a review. You have to choose a book, select a book which is very much comfortable for you, and start having a plan in your mind, like how you're going to write it. Have an introduction of yourself. Introduction, and you have to have a body of that, and you have to have a conclusion of that. And each and everything, whatever you're writing over here, should be of your own words. Even though the quotations, what you're giving, may be of the authors, should be of the authors, but all the other things, other than that, நீங்க என்ன சொல்ல விரும்புறீங்களோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து உங்களோட வேர்ட்ஸாவே இருந்தானா, that will be considered as a review. Okay, you don't want to be biased because உனக்கு பிடிச்ச கண்ட்ரியில் அது நடக்கிறது, அதனால நம்ம பயஸ்டாக நம்ம எழுதணுங்கிறது. We are not supposed to be very much subjective to the book. You know, we have to be very much objective, unbiased feeling ஓட தான் நம்ம வந்து அதை வந்து we have to do that. Okay, a quick short story. I think all of us would have heard Birbal stories. Okay, Birbal பற்றி படிக்காதவங்க இருக்கவே மாட்டோம் நம்ம, either in Tamil or in English, whatever language it is, we would have read it, நம்ம அது படிச்சிருப்போம். இது ஒரு ரொம்ப குட்டி ஸ்டோரி, இவ்வளவுதான் ஸ்டோரியே, இவ்வளவுதான். This is a story. Read that story and what review you can give this thing, you can send it to your lecturers. Okay, this Birbal story, this is Birbal shortens the road அப்படிங்கிற டைட்டிலோட ஒரு ஷார்ட் ஸ்டோரி, வெரி ஷார்ட் ஸ்டோரி, a paragraph, not even paragraph kind of. Okay, read this story and give this review to your class lecturers. Hopefully they can follow this. Anyhow, I'll be sharing this PPT to your madam if she wants, or if you want, you can take the story from her also. Do like this. Why I have given this example for you is that doesn't mean you have to take a full book and read it and review it. Okay, as a beginner, if you're a beginner in reading and reviewing, go for very short stories. Aesop's tales, or tales like this. Tenali Raman கதைகள் நமக்கு இருக்கு பாருங்க. Oh my god, lovable stories. Panchatantra tales, all those things, read very short stories. நான்சி ட்ரூன்னு ஒரு புக் இருக்கு. இப்பவும் என்கிட்ட அந்த புக்கை கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா ஐ லவ் இட் அண்ட் ஐ ரீட் இட் லைக் எனிதிங். மேம் Srinidhi மேம் knows it very well. So we love to read those books. We won't keep that book down till that last page and everything gets over. Like that we'll read. So go for very short stories. Don't go for a novel kind of. Startingly அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணாதீங்க. முதல்ல எடுத்தோடனே குட்டி குட்டி ஸ்டோரிஸ் பண்ணுங்க. You just go for very short stories. Read it. அதுல என்ன மாதிரி எல்லாம் அவங்க சொல்லியிருக்காங்கிறத பாருங்க. Like how the author has said it. How the plot been there, என்ன மாதிரியான ஒரு தீம் இதுல இருக்கு. சின்ன ஸ்டோரி தான், அதுலயும் வந்து எல்லாமே இருக்கும். நம்ம சொல்ற கேரக்டர்ஸ் இருக்கும், நம்ம சொல்ற பிளாட் இருக்கும், மெயின் தீம் இருக்கும், characterizations இருக்கும், இதுல எல்லாமே இருக்கும். Even though it is a paragraph story, you will have everything in that. So go through all those things. Go with the short stories, go with the one page stories, do a review. நீங்க ரெவ்யூ பண்ணதை திரும்பவும் அந்த ரெவ்யூ மட்டும் படிச்சுட்டு ஓகே இந்த புக்கை நம்ம படிக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு தேர்ட் பார்ட்டியா இருந்து அந்த ரெவ்யூ படிங்க. நீங்க தான் எழுதிருப்பீங்க. ஈவன் தோ யூ வுட் ஹவ் ரிட்டன் தட் ரெவ்யூ, ரீட் இட் ஆஸ் அ தேர்ட் பர்சன். ரீட் தட் ரெவ்யூ. ஓகே இந்த ரெவ்யூ நல்லா இருக்கு, இந்த புக்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி அந்த ரெவ்யூ இருக்குன்னுட்டு when you are realizing that, then only you are writing it as a good review. So keep on writing a review. If you are not satisfied with that review, tear it and then again write the review how you want. You have to keep your audience in your mind. Okay, all the time keep the audience in your mind. அவங்களுக்கு என்ன மாதிரி வேணும் அப்படிங்கறத you have to think over it and you have to start writing like that. Okay, and here I have given one review. I hope I'm not going out of the time. Just 2 minutes for me, ma'am. I'll just this is a review of Akbar Birbal's story. You can read that later with full of the questions. Okay, with full of the questions what we have. Okay, okay. I like this very much. Self critic, selfங்கிற வேர்டை எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். SELF, self love, self critic, self realization, self respect, self motivation, which is very much important. And self competitor, that is what we usually say that. See, நான் வந்து ஈஸியா சொல்லிடுறேன் உங்களுக்கு, இது படிங்க அது படிங்க, இது படிச்சா அது வரும், இது படிச்சா அது வரும். So I know the difficulties in that. I know the challenges you will face in that. It is quite difficult. I understand the difficulties in reading. It is very much difficult. ஒரு வார்த்தையும் நமக்கு மீனிங் புரிஞ்சு படிக்கிறது, it is damn difficult. It is quite difficult. Okay, so whatever you do, whatever you are think, you are the competitor. So you have to do that for yourself. நான் இன்னைக்கு வந்து இந்த எத்தனை பேஜ் படிச்சிருக்கேன்னா, no, that is not enough. நாளைக்கு நான் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நிறைய படிக்கணும். That spirit you should have. Okay, your biggest competition or your biggest competitor is you. If you think in that way, then only you will motivate yourself, then only you will perform much better, very much better. Okay, that self motivation, with that self realization you should have, and self judgment, எல்லாத்துலயுமே அந்த selfங்கிற word with all the adjectives and nouns, if you use it, you'll start realizing how important you are to you. That is very much quite important, right? And these 3 words, I love these 3 words. Think about it. These are the 3 words which usually used by the Oxford persons, Oxford professors. They usually say this word. Think about it. ரொம்ப கேஷுவலா இருக்க மாதிரி இருக்கும் இந்த வேர்ட் நமக்கு. Think about it, but you start thinking about it. You start thinking about English. You start thinking about reading. You start thinking about reviewing. Am I fit for reading? Am I good enough to read a book? Or what are the characters or what are the steps I have to improve, I have to take to read the book? If you're good in reading, இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் improve பண்ண நான் என்னெல்லாம் பண்ணணும். So if you're not thinking about anything, if you're not giving any self-realization message, it would be very difficult. It would be very difficult. We have to start thinking about that. Okay, so I request you, all of you, to start thinking about that. Take a book, if not a short story, start reading that, start reviewing it, and write a review of that. Okay, and here I have some list of books which you can refer. Very very minimal books I have given, because you have to select your own books. That is quite important. You have to select your own books, especially this Ponniyin Selvan and Parthiban Kanavu. Oh my god, you love it to the core. Language is not a barrier, yeah. Like you can read in Telugu. If your mother tongue is Telugu, you can read their Telugu books or Tamil books or Malayalam books or Hindi books, whatever it is, whatever it is. But the thing is, reading is very much important. English books தான் படிக்கணுங்கிற compulsion ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. You can read any book, whichever book you feel like. Read Ponniyin Selvan. That will show our tradition. That will show our culture. That will show who we are. Tamilna என்னங்கிறது வந்து that is clearly seen in that. You love it. You love that book. So, Rajesh Kumar is a famous detective writer. அவரோடது வந்து detective story நாலே thriller detective நாலே வந்து we'll go with Rajesh Kumar first. ரொம்ப அவர் தான் வந்து இருப்பார். And you all know Ramani Chandran. Ramani Chandran is as ma'am's favorite novelist. A family woman, family based romance, family based thing she'll write. It will be very good. It will be very good. So this is not only the list kind of, there are many set of books which we have, and that you can go with that, and you can enjoy reading apart from all the other stuff. நம்ம படிக்கணும், நமக்கு இந்த ஒர்க் கொடுத்துட்டாங்க அப்படிலாம் இல்லாம, apart from all those stuff, just read for yourself, read for pleasure. It will give you really a good pleasure. I feel everything. அதனால தான் with experience we are all telling, read whatever you see, you read it. எங்கெல்லாம் பார்க்குறீங்களோ, இன்டர்நெட்ல படிக்கிறீங்களோ, ஓகே, ஃபயர்ல படிக்கிறீங்களோ, அமேசான் ஃபயர்ல படிக்கிறீங்களோ, wherever you read, whatever you read, but read it with full heart and full pleasure. Then only that thing will come to you. அப்பதான் வந்து நமக்கு அந்த சாட்டிஸ்ஃபேக்ஷன் கிடைக்கும். ஓகே, நம்ம அந்த புக் படிச்சோம் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு சாட்டிஸ்ஃபேக்ஷன் வந்து நமக்கு அப்பதான் கிடைக்கும். Or else you won't get that. If you do it with under compulsion, இது கம்பல்சரியா இப்ப நீங்க பண்ணி முடிச்சுட்டு தான் வரணும், that is our work, we will say like that only. But you have to think over it, think about it, and read it. Okay, and that's all. I have come to the conclusion. If you have any questions, you can post it in the box, and ma'am will go through that. Ma'am, Shinde ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, thank you for a wonderful session.
Thank you.
All the
ma'am. Thank you
slides
so
were
much.
very good, and though your voice was breaking here and there, it
Okay.
was very often it was breaking, yet we could understand. And the slides which you had prepared for your speaking, it coincided very well with the content that you were speaking, and it spoke a lot to us.
Thank
So
you.
it
Thank
was
you so much.
wonderful
My
of you,
pleasure.
ma'am.
My pleasure.
Thanks for
Hope the
sharing.
kids would have enjoyed it. Hope the kids would have enjoyed. But the thing, what I feel is I couldn't
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
couldn't
ma'am.
talk
Me
with
too.
them.
I too
That
am
is
a learner today, so I too have learned a lot from you today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, for recommending me, and thank you so much, Dr. Hari, sir. It is a great pleasure to be back with SAEC. Kind of, I felt like today SAEC and kind of back to back. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for providing this opportunity.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's our pleasure to have you for our students, ma'am. So those missing days, I'm recollecting those days where we were there, and now our students are highly privileged to have you today to have spoken to them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Share all your
I'm
knowledge.
really
Thanks, ma'am.
sorry
Thank
for
you so
this
much.
network connections. I'm really sorry for
Guys,
that. I don't know where
with this
it's
we are
going.
winding up the session, and we'll meet you again in the next session. Tomorrow morning. At 9:30, sharp at 9:30, everyone assemble in the YouTube streaming link so that we'll meet with a new speaker again. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.